Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Alexi and this is Soto-Tek. This is the global version of the budget-friendly Redmi Note 15 5G from Xiaomi, and in this video I want to give you my first impressions about this phone after using it for over a week, and let's see if it is worth buying and who this phone might be for. As usual, let me first quickly show you what else comes inside the box. The phone comes inside this paper wrap with some of the main specs. We also get the SIM ejector tool, the Type-C to Type-A charging cable, the usual paper manual, and a case. Okay, the phone also comes with a pre-installed screen protector. No charger in the box, at least here in the UK. Design and build quality. I like the back with the look of the camera module here in the center. It has a curved display with kind of rounded frames. Now, I'm okay with curved displays, but I would have personally preferred it with a flat display with flat frames for a better grip. It is made of plastic back with plastic frames. It is also a slim phone with a light weight, too light for my liking. I would have also preferred it a little bit thicker and a little bit heavier, but that's my personal preference. To be honest, when it comes to the design and build quality, I am 50-50, and mainly because of the curved display and how light it feels, but overall it's not a bad looking phone, and I'm sure a lot of people will probably love it. Let's now talk about the screen quality. As mentioned before, it has a curved screen, which is a 6.77 AMOLED display with a resolution of 1080 by 2392 pixels with a peak brightness of 3200 nits and 120 Hz refresh rate. It is a nice display. It is bright, vibrant, nice colors and sharp with a good viewing angles, so very good for any content consumption. It comes with the Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 based on 4 nanometers, which is a mid-range processor. For day-to-day basic tasks like texting, phone calling, web browsing, social media interaction, the performance has been fine in general. I haven't really found any hiccups. This doesn't mean it won't happen. I'm kind of expecting those occasional hiccups to happen the more and longer I use the phone, but so far, not bad. The phone feels very responsive for general day-to-day usage at the moment. Definitely not a phone for heavy gaming, especially with those high graphic demanding games for a long period of time and high settings, but for basic games like Subway Surfers, Temple Run, or games like Candy Crush or Angry Birds, it is fine. When it comes to software, it runs Android 15 out of the box with Xiaomi's HyperOS 2. Hopefully it will get the Android 16 and HyperOS 3 soon. Despite being a slim phone, it has a relatively large battery capacity of 5520 mAh with 45 watts fast charging capabilities, no wireless charging. So far, the battery life has been solid, easily lasting the whole day with moderate to heavy usage, and it is probably still learning my usage habits, so I'm sure it's going to get better. It comes with a stereo sound and the quality is okay. It does the job, but it's not going to win any awards. I think it lacks a little bit of bass and it could be a little bit louder, but let's check it out. IP certification. It is IP65 water and dust resistant, which is still a good level of protection, but don't get too confident just in case. It comes with a very reliable optical fingerprint sensor under the display. A little bit too low, but it works well. It also has a very reliable face unlock and the PIN number. The phone also comes with Bluetooth 5.3 and other expected features like NFC and the useful IR blaster. It also has some nice and expected features by now like Google's Gemini, Circle to Search. It doesn't come with the AI app boost with extra features that you can find in all the more expensive Xiaomi's phones, but it still has some useful editing tools like object eraser, the possibility of removing or adding blur background, others like AI sky to change the type of sky, and AI to remove reflections, etc. Let's finish with the cameras. It has a 108 megapixels main wide lens and an 8 megapixels ultra wide lens. That's it. Not sure what the third lens is here for. Probably just for an overall design purpose. At least no useless 2 or 5 megapixels macro lens. With the rear camera, you can take pictures up to 20 times zoom and record videos up to 4K 30 frames per second and up to 6 times zoom. Sadly, with no video stabilizations, and you cannot use the ultra-wide angle lens with 4K video recordings. The quality is not too bad, especially with good lighting conditions. For the front camera, it has a 20 megapixels lens with which you can only record up to 1080p 30 frames per second videos. The general results, taking into account the price and category of the phone, are acceptable for the most part. Here again, you're not going to win any awards, but I think the results might be good enough for someone looking for a cheap new phone with decent cameras. Okay, this was my hands-on and first impressions video about the global version of the Redmi Note 15 5G. What do you think? Are you thinking of buying this phone? Well, if you have made it this far and you enjoyed the video and found it informative, please don't forget to hit the like and hype buttons. That would be a great help for the video and the channel, and I would really appreciate it. See you in the next one. Hasta la vista.